The night was quiet, the kind of eerie silence that made even seasoned officers uneasy. Officer Daniels and Officer Ruiz were patrolling the outskirts of town when a strange, sorrowful sound broke through the stillness. A dog was crying, a deep, mournful whimper that sent chills down their spines. "Did you hear that?" Daniels asked, turning down the radio. Ruiz nodded, already scanning the darkness. "Yeah, it's coming from under the bridge." They pulled over, stepping out into the cold night air. Their flashlights cut through the shadows as they followed the sound. The closer they got, the more painful the cries became. There was something in that sound, something more than just distress. It was pure, aching sorrow, and then they saw her. A German shepherd lay curled up beneath the bridge, her frail body shaking. She still wore her K9 harness, though it was worn and covered in dust. Her ribs were visible beneath her dull fur, a heartbreaking sign of how long she had been out here. Ruiz crouched down, voice soft. "Hey, girl, it's okay. We're here to help." But the dog didn't move. She just looked up at them with eyes filled with despair. Then the officers noticed something that made their hearts stop. Next to her, nestled in the dirt and barely visible, were 4 tiny puppies. Their small bodies pressed against their mother for warmth, their eyes still shut. They were just days old. Daniel swallowed hard. "Oh my God, she has puppies." Ruiz gently reached for the tags on her collar. "Her name is Bella, and—" She paused, her breath catching. "Daniels. She belonged to Officer Mark Evans." Daniels felt a chill run through him. He knew that name. Everyone on the force did. Officer Mark Evans had been a hero, a dedicated officer who had worked alongside Bella for years. The two had been inseparable. But a year ago, tragedy struck. Evans had been killed in the line of duty during a high-risk operation. After his death, Bella had disappeared. No one knew what had happened to her. Some officers had searched, hoping she had been adopted or taken in by someone, but she was never found, until now, and she hadn't been alone. Daniel's voice was thick with emotion. She must have come back here, looking for him. Ruiz wiped at her eyes, and she gave birth out here, all alone. Bella let out a weak whimper, resting her head near her puppies. She was exhausted, barely able to keep her eyes open. Daniels took off his jacket, wrapping it around the tiny puppies. "We need to get them out of here." Ruiz nodded, reaching out a hand. Bella hesitated for just a moment, then, as if finally realizing she was safe, she nudged her puppies closer to them. The officers carefully lifted her and the pups into the patrol car. As they drove back to the station, Bella curled protectively around her babies, finally allowing herself to rest. When they arrived at the precinct, word spread quickly. Officers gathered, some in shock, others wiping away tears. Many had known Evans personally, and seeing Bella again, especially with her newborn puppies, felt like getting a piece of their fallen brother back. That night, Bella and her pups were given warmth, food, and a safe place to sleep. But the story didn't end there. The next morning, something remarkable happened. Captain Reynolds, the most senior officer in the precinct, made an announcement. Bella was Evans's partner. And if she wants to stay, she belongs here. With us. The entire department agreed. For the first time in police history, a retired K9 was officially reinstated, not as a working dog, but as an honorary member of the force. Bella was given a new badge engraved with both her name and Evans' name, forever binding them together. Her puppies, who had been born in the darkest of places, were now surrounded by love, growing up in the care of the officers who had once worked alongside their mother. And though Bella never truly got over the loss of her handler, there was a change in her. The sorrow in her eyes was replaced with peace. She had found her way back home. And she wasn't alone anymore.